Just like yesterday, everybody, parental advisory. Apologies in advance for profanity that's about to be said. Apologies if I ruffle any feathers by a slight overreaction, to say the least. We have a lot to discuss right now, and just like yesterday, I'm not going to be breaking down inning by inning because there's no point in me trying to even put an effort in inning by inning basis of breaking down a ball game when the Mets themselves put no effort in this game on the offensive standpoint. Talk about a new low for this offensive team. Oh, they surely did that. Of course, on the day that their long-awaited, highly anticipated ace and Justin Verlander makes his debut, JV was perfectly solid in his debut. The farthest reason from being concerned on the JV front, gave up a couple back-to-back bombs that we saw that we discussed in our watch party that I just got off of doing live once JV's start was officially ended today. Make sure to check that out if you have any interest in hearing more of me and Joe Sorrell, my co-host, talk more about great Italian food than what was a shit show of a ball game. But apologies in advance for what I'm about to say. Apologies to my sponsors again. I hate that I'm feeling like this. I hate that I have to talk about this. But the Mets have now dropped 9 of their last 11 fucking games, and they just somehow, some way, got swept in Detroit by the Tigers, made Eduardo Rodriguez look like the second coming of Cy Young. Surprise, surprise. The Mets, when they face any competent southpaw, look like a steaming pile of dog shit. That is what they looked like today, guys. I'm at a loss for words with how this Mets team has been performing as of late. Justin Verlander gave the Mets 5 solid innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 5 hits, around 5 strikeouts if I'm not mistaken, was solid with his arsenal. Definitely the best pitching outing that we've seen from the Mets in a while. So while the rotation's been in shambles, thankfully they get some relief here with Justin Verlander. Hopefully what's going to be a great season for him. But the offense, in typical Mets fashion, God forbid they have an ace on the mound. If it's Jacob deGrom, we knew that story there. Now it's the start of JV's tenure, and he has to go through the same bullshit as the Mets quite literally just have the worst offensive display I think I've seen this season. This was worse than Clayton Kershaw, in my opinion, out there against the Dodgers. This was worse than their offensive performances against the Brewers, or at minimum, very close to. That is how bad this offense looked today. You could have put me out there and I would have at least got a foul tip and not striking out on 3 fucking pitches like we saw from Lindor Alonso to start. High fastball against a lefty. I guess this is Andrew Heaney against the Dodgers last season. Exact same playbook. I mean, give credit where credit's due. Eduardo Rodriguez looked absolutely phenomenal. 8 shutout innings against this Mets team. He deserves credit. But the reason why I'm more discouraged is that this is a Mets team that has been on a slide that needed their offense to step up, and they themselves allowed this guy to look like Cy Young again. If you are a competent left-hander, you have a stronger likelihood than facing any other team in baseball and getting yourself a fine outing, because that is what we witnessed today. It is an absolute fucking joke what I just witnessed. It is an absolute joke for JV to have to endure this to start his Mets tenure. I'm so pissed off. I'm so bothered. I'm so fed up with this fucking team right now. 9 of your last 11. 9 of your last 11. Guys, let's just jump to it. Let's look at the Haynes stats today. What did they do hitting? This is what they fucking did hitting. You knew this game was bad when Brandon Nimmo tries to steal a base with 1 out in the 9th. When you finally have a runner on base, he goes to steal, he gets tagged. I love Nimmo. He was terrible in this series. He is the least of my concerns. Nimmo has really been a carrier of this offense to start the year. Again, terrible series for him, but he's not like my full concern. But a terrible play. Talk about a misread. What are you doing there, Brandon? I love you, but why are you doing that? There's no reason to do that. This entire offense today was garbage. They struck out 11 times. They made Eduardo Rodriguez quite literally look like the best pitcher on the planet. Eduardo Rodriguez, who's off to a great start this year, but I promise you, he is going to end the year on not looking the same right now. If he does, then congratulations to him, but this is a Detroit Tigers team that the Mets just allowed themselves to get walked over left and right. It all started with that deflating loss in Game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. Now we see this. My head is pounding. My head is pounding. The Mets are 500 for the first time this season. Well, not first time, 500. First time in a while, at least, right? They've lost 9 of their last 11 games. Now they go home tomorrow to face the Colorado Rockies. I'm taking a break. I'm sorry. I've got plans this weekend. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. Covering the past 2 weeks for this Mets team has been absolute hell. Taking a break. Going to enjoy myself over the weekend. The Mets have some big wins. We might stream one of the games tops probably, but you'll see quick recaps that I do off my phone because I always keep little microphones on me and shit like that. But I implore everyone to hopefully enjoy their weekend, and hopefully the Mets get their head out of their ass, because this is unbelievable. This is beyond inexcusable. You thought the sweep, getting swept by the Detroit Tigers in a doubleheader yesterday, was enough, but it's another when you get swept in the series as a whole when Justin Verlander makes his debut. It was beyond pathetic what I witnessed today. Those at-bats were so bad. So bad. The AAA Syracuse Mets could have came out and did better. Guarantee Mark Vientos gets at least one hit against Eduardo Rodriguez, right? He gave up 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. Absolutely brilliant. Has a 1.18 ERA right now for the Tigers. Congratulations to Tigers fans. You guys deserve the dubs. Clearly the better team. But it's the fucking Detroit Tigers. My head's throbbing. My head's throbbing. Pitching stats. Let's look at it. Let's go through it, folks. Let's go through it. JV, again, 5 solid innings in his debut. I pretty much exactly what the doctor ordered in his debut, where he's topping out in mid-70s on his pitches on pitch count. Topped out 96 on the here today. Very solid. Let's break down his arsenal here shortly. Again, JV, he was giving up hard contact early in the first. Every fly ball was at least 100 to 105 plus mile per hour. Second inning was giving up some hard contact, but really got in the groove and got out some jams as well, which I commend JV for. He faced adversity and had no problem with it, something that Max couldn't handle the day prior, right? But JV today, with his arsenal, 47% of it was the four-seam fastball, topped out at 97, average 95 on the heater. The slider topped out on 90 and average 88. So that's actually a little bit higher than his normal year average. And the curveball average 80 on the mile per hour. So Arsenal was perfectly fine with JV today. He give him credit. He faced early adversity, gave up back-to-back bombs. One to Riley Green and pulled one. Then Javi Baez, who's back to beating the Javi Baez of the Mets during that little stint of 2021, killing this Mets team now, right? He faced adversity. He did well. JV is not my concern. That's definitely that's the only positive from today is Justin Verlander being as advertised, what you would hope for in his first start of the year while still being on a limited pitch count. Chet Brigham, solid inning, and then we had Dominic Leone, who the Mets just acquired. Actually, they just signed this guy. The Mets are so desperate for pitching. The Mets literally sent this guy, gave him calls, said, "Hey, we're thinking about signing you, so come to the doubleheader, come to Detroit, even though you're not officially under contract yet. We'll think about it." They signed him. Dominic Leone, for those that don't know, was doing great in AAA for the Texas Rangers this year, coming off of injury. Last year had a 4 ERA and relief in around 50 innings pitched, right-hand reliever for the San Francisco Giants. In 2021, had his breakout year, a 1.5 or so ERA in 40 to 50 innings, a career 3.69 ERA. Nice. Entering today's game, and he gives the Mets a nice shutout inning there in the 7th, which I'm always going to appreciate. Again, definitely a guy where they've taken a flyer on pitching-wise, and the Mets relievers have been a problem. This entire pitching staff has been a problem, so good start to Dominic Leone, and hopefully we get some more innings eaten out of him. Quality innings, too. I'm not going to complain there. A solid pickup from them. That was a positive as well. Drew Smith, again, as well. Starling Marte had a nice catch off the wall for Leone in right field, which was nice. That was the only defensive highlight I feel like I saw today, because aside from that, don't get me wrong, the umpire was dog shit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Mets weren't getting calls. Detroit wasn't getting calls at some point either. But this entire series was so fucking bad. Like, I can't even yell right now because of how much my head hurts from just watching. And spending my past 24 hours of watching this entire series has been, oh my God, the amount of things I could have done better with my life versus talking about this dog shit team right now. Unbelievable. I know the Mets are going to be better. I know that the sky isn't falling. But this slide, losing 9 of your last 11 games, when only 2 of those losses, 2 out of the 9, were against a good team in the Braves. The other 7 are the San Francisco fucking Giants, the Washington Nationals, and now the Detroit Tigers. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. The Mets still have another 10 games. I'm going to sneeze. The Mets still have another 10 games against less than good opponents. Then after that, they have 2 months of playing really hard baseball, really difficult schedule. A lot of games at home, but really difficult schedule. And this is just giving me vibes from the late last year where they had a lesser schedule and they're not taking advantage of it. Like, what are we doing here? The Mets have lost 5 of their last 6 games in total against the Nationals and Tigers. What are we doing here? This is unbelievable. This is actually unbelievable how bad they're playing right now. They look so lost at the plate. McNeil's at bats. He got a bad call. Should have been a fucking ball that they called a strike. He had every right to be mad. But McNeil's at bats aren't good. Alonso's at bats are atrocious today. Lindor's at bats were atrocious today. Tommy Pham, frustrated, atrocious at bats. Don't blame him. He was the only one that had some fire that we see in the highlights here. You don't see it. You'll see it soon with how pissed off he was after his strikeout. But this entire team managed to reach a new low this season. You thought the Milwaukee Brewers series was a new low. You thought that, maybe even the National series was a new low. But no, it's the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. again, my apologies, everybody. My apologies for the profanity. My apologies for looking like a mess and being out of place. It's just this hits me harder because I don't have I'm covering this team on a daily basis. That's like that's literally like what I do for a living, right? So when you witness like 2 weeks straight of just shit baseball, it hurts so much. It drives me absolutely bananas, especially when it's against teams that there's no excuse to be doing this to. The Mets better get on a fucking roll, because if they don't, then there are some significant changes that things need to be figured out. Okay, I get it that the start of the season, it only means so much. We've seen many teams going great runs. Mets are only 500 right now. It's not like they're 10 games below 500 like the Cardinals, but it's inexcusable. That's the thing. Doesn't matter the time of year it is. As fans piss off, I'm pissed off too. It doesn't matter the time of year. We're in May and you're losing to these teams this way. It's disgusting. They need to get their fucking act together. They need to get their shit together. This team has no sense of moxie. They have no sense of swagger. They have no sense of fucking lighting a fire under their ass that they had to start last year that went in hand with them getting hit by pitches. You could almost argue that the Mets getting hit as much as they did last year in the first half was a good thing for them, because it felt like it was the Mets against everybody, and they took that seriously, and they went on a great run that first half. And I know what matters most is making playoffs, having a deep playoff run. So in hindsight's, we'll look back. Maybe this is maybe this will end up being a good thing that the Mets face this adversity, right? But right now, it's so unbearable to watch. I don't even know how we're getting people coming to these post-game shows besides being just pissed off and wanting to vent with me, right? Because why else would you want to be following this steaming pile of shit you call a baseball team over the past 2 weeks? It's so bad. It's so bad. And it drives me even more nuts that the Mets got competent pitching today. They got competent pitching. The relievers got the job done. JV got the job done. 2 earned over 5 innings. No one and their mother's complaining. If you're complaining, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. He was not the problem today. This offense is the effing problem right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Yankees fans act like sky's falling. They're going through it right now with injuries, albeit too. The Mets have dealt with their fair share of injuries to the pitching staff, but still, it's the bats. Where the fuck are the bats? It's the Detroit Tigers. It's the Detroit fucking Tigers. God, my head's throbbing. This sucks. How are we feeling, Mets fans, on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated are you right now, Mets fans, Mets Nation out there? Let me know in the chat. Give me on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated are you with this Mets team right now? Let me see it. People on replay, same applies. Do the same thing. Let me see it. Let me see it. Shout out, of course, to So Rare MLB and Mantis Sleep for being great sponsors on the channel. We're going to get to them shortly. If you guys have been following the channel, you know the drill, but we'll get to them a little bit. I gotta react to some of your comments before I get there. And I feel terrible for my sponsors when they have to deal with me having to feel this way and act this way. I want Terry Collins to talk to this team, says Jacob. Yeah, we're all pretty much, someone said 5. I wish I could be out of 5. Pretty low, like 1, 2. Seen a lot of 10s and a lot of 9s. Go Tiger! Yeah, if you're a Tigers fan, congratulations. You just pistol whipped this Mets team. I mean, you made this Mets team look silly. Congratulations, you deserve it. Here's a fun fact for you all, too. And of course, Jeff Passan tweets this because, God forbid, it was something positive with the Mets, right, Jeff? After today's 2-0 loss to Detroit, the New York Mets have been shut out in 6 of their 32 games. That is tied for the most in major leagues with Kansas City, which is 8 out of 23. The Mets were shut out only 8 times all of last season. This is what I mean. The Mets have no moxie. They're not grinding out at bats. This is not the same team as last year. We know that. The Mets were only shut out 8 times last year. They've been shut out 6 times in a month of baseball. 6 fucking times. 6 fucking times. Shout out to Mansa Sleep. Again, the best sleep mask on the market, beyond affordable. You know, I'm going to need this bad boy tonight. I got a long night. I'm seeing Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I'm excited about. Please give me something positive. I'm looking forward to that, but I need good sleep tonight. I'm going to probably take a nap after this too, and I'm going to slip this bad boy on. So guys, please make sure if you're interested in sleep masks, these are the best in the market. I've been sleeping with these every single night for literally the past month, and they've done wonders. Check it out in the description down below using my promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Shout out to Mansa Sleep again for being a great sponsor on the channel as always. I just want to wear this the remainder of the show because I'm disgusted. I am disgusted looking at this ball club right now on how they have the audacity to perform in this manner. I'm truly disgusted by this. JV, thank you so much for the donation. JV says, we brought this up late last season and again in the offseason. It's the same offense, just minus rough and A. It is the same offense. The only upsides will be Beatty, like the kids. And the kids are performing. Of course, Eduardo was starting in place Beatty today. However, I'm not going to rag Buck for that decision. Eduardo had been doing well against lefties in his small sample sizes, and I don't think that was a bad decision. Again, no one was hitting for the Mets today, so I can't sit here and think that, oh, Beatty's going to be that X factor, right? But yeah, outside of internal options, which you hope you get production from Beatty and Alvarez, they're not supposed to be your saving graces, but we have an issue. They may need to be because the Mets don't have other options. Shout out to Mansa Sleep. Lindor is slumping. Yeah, he played like absolute dog shit. He had the home run. The weird thing with Lindor, he's not hitting for contact at all right now, but he's like one of the best hitters in extra base hits so far this season. When he's hitting, he's getting a home run or a double every single time. That has been his MO to start the year. I love the slugging, and genuinely, I honestly wouldn't even mind that if he was a lower average, higher extra base guy because we need the power in this lineup. But you need the contact along with it. And when Nimmo goes non-existent for an entire series, when he's been your place setter, so great to start the year. When McNeil, not existent, now we're seeing, right? Like, when you don't get your contact guys on, that's the issue. The solo shots ain't going to do. Yeah, the at-bats were lazy. They were lackadaisical. They were dog shit is what they were. And as we discuss, that, there's any positive, if there's any positive, it's that my Sower MLB team has been looking good. Shout out to Sower MLB, who's another great sponsor on the channel. Sower MLB is the best fantasy baseball game you guys can play. I know many of you guys know about it already. You can sign up for free. You don't have to spend a dime. You can spend money if you'd like to get upgrade limited cards that help your chances of winning at these tournaments that they perform weekly. The tournament is going to be ending today, and there will be a new one tomorrow. And how you perform in said tournaments is based on how the players do in real life. So like Lindor and Alonso weren't great for me, but they got the job done because it was connected with the Braves series. McClanahan was really good. The only guy that I'm waiting if he's going to do anything is Romano, the closer for Toronto, and I even had Spencer Strider in there when he faced the Mets, and he got beat up, but he somehow got the win, so that's why I still got 23 points from him. So I'm ranked in the 1,000 or so out of 21,000, and how you do in these tournaments are based on how the players do in real life, and the awesome thing is that if you do well in these tournaments, that again, you don't have to spend a dime if you don't want to. How you do in these tournaments, the performance-wise, if you do well, you can win free tickets to your favorite MLB team like the Mets or any other team that you're a fan of, free merchandise of your favorite MLB team, real dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in limited tournaments that you can enter, and you can, of course, win upgraded cards to help your team after you initially draft a team it's called gems. You get 200 gems to start with. You pick your team, you pick your pitchers, you pick your batters, and you see how you do each tournament. But I have absolutely loved this game. It's been my favorite fantasy MLB game to play by far, and I'll be playing it religiously, even if they weren't a partner on the channel, so I'm so grateful to have them on. That's the reason why they're partnered with MLB, and you see all the best content creators out there, not named myself, baseball-wise that are partnered with Sora MLB. So I highly implore you guys to check them out using my link in the description, just same thing as that being in Manta Sleep. Check out my link in the description for Sora MLB for being a great sponsor on the channel. Sign up for free. Let me know when you guys sign up. Again, let me know how you enjoy it. I know we've had a lot of people sign up since we started the campaign to begin the year, and I love this game. I cannot wait to play more of it and check out my team and see what type of reward I get once my tournament is done, which should be done at the end of the day. I think there's only 2 hours left. Yeah, so shout out to Sora MLB for being studs on the channel. Those are the only positives today. It's my awesome sponsors I'm so grateful to have. They're doing great things. Make sure to check them out respectfully if you have interest in either of those two things. We have more on the way as well. But aside from that, this fucking team is driving me bananas. They're driving me bananas. Phillies own you guys. We haven't even played the Phillies this year, and we pistol whipped the Phillies last year. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, if they own us this year, then okay, they will. But I mean, I like to credit the Mets. Fun fact: I like to credit the Mets in part for the Phillies getting on their run last year, because if it wasn't for the Mets pistol whipping the Phillies in the first 2 months of the year last year, the way they did, and throughout the year, then Joe Girardi wouldn't have gotten fired as soon as he did. So if anything, Philly fans should be grateful that the Mets absolutely wiped the floor with them last year, because who knows, if they didn't, maybe their season would have gone differently. Maybe they wouldn't have had as deep playoff run. Makes you think. I'm one of those guys too. If things aren't the same, you know, or if someone wasn't attending something, I think that the outcome could be different. I believe in that mindset, but that's just me. And I know the Phillies are going to be good this year. They're not playing well right now, but they're going to be good. I know they will. Guys, my head's pounding. I'm over this shit. This team needs to get their act together. If we have content tomorrow, it's a very slim chances live stream. As long as my plans come to fruition, then I will have at most a quick recap out, win or lose. Same thing with the weekend. So just don't be surprised if we see a little to no live streams until our next podcast episode, which will be after the conclusion of the Rocky series. Mets need to get their head out of their ass. I need to get some rest using my Manta Sleep Mask. Again, promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. So you can check out in the description down below. I'm out here, guys. I'm over this. Terrible day, terrible week to be watching Mets baseball. I'm out. Peace, guys. Love you so much.